When a senator takes the time to hand out a document showing that the bill, the big, beautiful bill, when a Republican senator, it's going to screw their own, you know that the bill is bad. And you know also he's doing it for cover. In other words, you don't go out there and put out something that you know is going to leak to say this came from Thom Tillis and he's telling us not to do it. The big, bad, ugly bill is going to harm us, and we are going to continue to talk about it. We won't allow distractions up and until the last vote is cast. And if that bill passes, we will ensure that we continue to speak about it to let Americans know what's happening and who is the culprit, who is the one responsible for the dire straits they'll be feeling from the bill. But check out this little segment from Lawrence O'Donnell that makes it clear. I think with Klobuchar, you're going to get the whole thing.
NBC News reports Republican Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina, who is up for re-election next year, circulated a document to Senate Republicans last night in their closed-door meeting outlining how the Medicaid provisions in Donald Trump's budget bill will hurt Republican states. Tillis also warned his party during the meeting that they will lose the 2026 midterm elections if they push ahead on proposed Medicaid cuts. He compared the situation to the heavy losses Democrats suffered in the 2014 midterms after a rocky Obamacare rollout, according to one source in the room. Republican Senator Joshua Hawley of Missouri told NBC News today, "I don't think they've got 51 right now. The rural hospital issue is the big issue right now. I think it's a big issue on the House side." Joining us now is Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. She serves on the Senate Commerce Committee and the Judiciary Committee. Senator, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Is Senator Hawley right? Is the rural hospital issue the thing that is really tripping up the
Huge.
Republicans? And what does it mean for the rural hospitals of Minnesota?
Huge. 300 hospitals nationally will close down because of this bill for two reasons. One, the Medicaid cuts. I'm not surprised that you have senators speaking out about that because 16 million people are going to lose their health care because of this proposal. Secondly, Medicare. The debt is so big from this bill, $3.4 trillion, $1 trillion of it in higher interest. Why? Because it adds to the debt. $3.4 trillion in 10 years. That actually triggers automatic Medicare cuts to the tune of $500 billion. All of this adds to huge problems to rural hospitals that are already thinly holding on. And there are so many red states that are going to be affected by this. 4 million people are going to be tossed off of food assistance, many of them in rural areas. And then, of course, you have the debt issue. So the way I look at this, Lawrence, you've got people that are rightfully saying this is immoral to do these Medicaid cuts, but they appear to be proceeding along as if it doesn't matter. You have people that are concerned about the debt that could be solved by just cutting off these tax cuts for people making over $400,000. That would save $2 trillion. And then my favorite, Lawrence, the oops caucus. The House members that say, oops, I didn't really read the bill when I voted for it, the Republican House members. I don't know what to do now. So it's a mess, but the biggest thing is it's a mess for the American people.
There's reporting from that meeting, the Republican meeting last night, that Punchbowl has, quoting Senator Mitch McConnell, saying the kind of thing that I always kind of guessed that he might say when the door is closed and it's just Republicans. He said, I know a lot of us are hearing from people back home about Medicaid, but they'll get over it. Senator Klobuchar, when they're trying to round up your vote and they're trying to tell you that Minnesota voters will just get over whatever the thing is that you've got a problem with, I've never known that to be a way to close the deal.
This sounds eerily like people are going to die anyway. The point is that we should be treating the people of this country who have worked their whole lives for a living with dignity. We should be treating our seniors with dignity, and we should not be giving a whole bunch of tax cuts to the wealthiest on the backs of working people. That's exactly what this bill is about. They could fix it. They could start over. But instead, we are where we are, and they're claiming they're going to go forward with it now. I believe they should start over.
As you go forward with this process, Democrats will be trying to advance amendments on the Senate floor when it starts to move. What are you expecting to be able to highlight through that amendment process?
Well, I think the first is the obvious, these health care cuts and these idea that you would toss people off their health care when they're just trying to hang on right now. Medicaid and also the Medicare cuts. The second, I mentioned the food assistance, the fact that you are, for these reasons that just defy reality, the parliamentarian actually ruled that a number of these things were not even right under the Senate rules. And that's something that I've been pushing from the Agriculture Committee standpoint. And then you're going to have this issue of the debt and the idea that they're adding so greatly to the debt, overwhelmingly to help wealthy people. And the interesting thing is, Lawrence, we've been united on this, Democrats, 60% of the people in this country in a Fox poll. Let me say that again, a Fox poll, which Donald Trump greatly criticized and made fun of Fox, but it was an actual poll. They said that 60% of people didn't like this bill. They think it helped the wealthiest. A very small percentage say, oh, maybe it'll help me. But the vast majority of Americans have figured it out. And they say it'll help the wealthy, which it will.
Can one be any clearer? 60% of Americans, we know for sure, hate the bill, and they do understand that it's a transfer of their wealth to the top. Also, the election that recently occurred in New York should actually point out something to people, and that is what was taboo before because of what the oligarchy did to convince many that that their way was the right way. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to see that it is time that we start looking for policies that aid the average American citizen and not the oligarchy. Now, the New York Times and all these other newspapers and the rank and file establishment Democrats are going to be up in arms in trying to keep some sort of a false middle. Folks, it is time.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.